Hello everybody, in today's video I will be explaining how this is better than this. Now to get into point one of why I believe iron sights and red dots are better than scopes is, for one, if you have a high-end scope unlike this, like the other scope I have that you may have seen in my BB/pellet gun video of the 880, is, well, they have glass in them. So glass causes it to reflect. So if you're in a camping position, maybe you have a ghillie suit on, they may see the reflectiveness, which would get you spotted. Now to get into point number two, which is very simple. The world's deadliest sniper, Simo Häyhä, the Finland soldier who executed over 500 soldiers during the Winter War in Finland, he actually did not use a scope, and this was because he believed there was lots of drawbacks, like the one I talked about just a while ago, about the reflectiveness of the scope, for one. And for two, he, all his life, didn't use a scope, so he didn't really need one. He was used to just iron sights, which I believe is better. Now we get into point number three. In a lot of my Nerf wars, I like to use the Nerf rival Hera, and for me, I like to have a sniper and offensive-defensive position, meaning that I may be outside sniping, I may be inside clearing buildings, or I may be outside just sweeping around. Now this means for me that I do not like using a scope, for one, because, well, you don't really need a scope when you're doing all the stuff that I listed earlier. Like for outside sniping, you can do that easily with iron sights or a red dot. That is just simple stuff that you can do. You can just use the red dot or the iron sights, no problem, as long as you're within, like, the range of a Nerf gun, because Nerf guns don't shoot that far. Also, along with point three, is when you're using a red dot or iron sights inside of a building, you don't need a scope. If you're using a scope inside of a building, like, come on, what's wrong with you? And if you like this type of content, if you like my videos, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and also hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload an awesome video like this. I just realized I can touch the roof. Now for point number four. Now, if you are using a scope, you have to look down the scope, and usually you keep one eye closed when you're looking down the scope, like this. But why that can be problematic is that's cutting half of your vision in half. That made no sense. What I mean by that is if you use a scope, well, you're only having half of your vision. Now, this could be problematic because, say, someone was, for me, on the left right now. This is my right. Someone's on the left, and I'm aiming in on someone. Someone's flanking me on the left. They can easily just get a few free shots off on me because all my vision and all of me is centered down the scope, which only has one eye open. Now, why I think this is unnecessary with a red dot or an iron sight is because you're looking down something that's not enclosed, like a scope, like this. Because, well, of course, you have one eye open, one eye closed with the scope, like I stated previously. But with an iron sight or red dot, you don't need to have both your eyes closed. You can simply have one eye open and one eye open. Wow. Because you can look down the red dot and you can see everything in the red dot because it's this like glass thing with a red dot in the middle. So therefore you can see down there and you can see with your other eye open to keep watch of surroundings. Now this is the same with iron sights because it just makes sense, and also on a lot of iron sighted weapons. I like to kind of, with Nerf and Airsoft, you know, I like close range a lot more than I do sniping, but I do snipe a lot, and I do snipe with red dots, and I also snipe with iron sights because I think it's way better. Now, if you may think, well, El Nino, you're not really making any sense because on your BB gun/pellet gun video of the 880, well, you had a scope on it. Well, yes, that is a fair point, but on that, I'm not pressured. I'm not having to quickly make a shot, reload, relocate, and then take another shot. That is just target practice. And now we are in our final point. Now, studies have shown actually that using red dots and iron sights are better for the eye. Isn't that crazy? But it makes sense when you really think about it. The human eye was not made at all to stare down an enclosed tube all of the time. So that's why red dots and iron sights are much better, in my opinion, than scopes. To recap, you can reposition quicker, in my opinion. It's better for the human eye, studies have shown. It doesn't get in the way, red dots and iron sights, and also things just that make sense. Like if you're going into a building or anything, you don't really want to have a scope on, and also, you know, the world's deadliest sniper. Like, come on, the world's deadliest sniper didn't use a scope, so you kind of want to be like him. And also, a lot of deadly snipers were actually snipers that didn't use scopes. This is why the Russian army in World War II was so deadly, is because they didn't use scopes, and so the Germans couldn't spot them. The Germans did use a ton of scopes, so they got headshotted left and right all day long. And make sure, if you like the video, subscribe if you made it this far. Comment what your opinions on this debate is. You know my opinion, obviously, but of course, as for everything, I'm your host, El Nino5373. Go subscribe to my second channel, Cringe Turtles. I linked it in my channel. Yeah, go do that. Have fun. Eat a piña colada. Eat Jarritos. Drink Jarritos. I don't care. Bye-bye. I'll see you next time. Slap! And that's where the transition should come in. It's actually coming in here.